Hey there. This is a commentary on the second presidential debate, Obama Romney 2012. And first, let me make a few things clear. I'm from neither party. Not from Democrats or Republican. I'm not from any third, fourth party, which weren't allowed on the debates this time. I basically just do my research and then I get behind whichever candidate I think it's going to do least damage, like in this case, least damage to the country. So, yeah, the debate was pretty fierce. Both candidates came out swinging, and the most notable change was from Obama, which, he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. He went from being a meek, submissive candidate who would just be basically defending himself from Romney's attacks on the first debate to being very abrasive and attacking Romney throughout the whole debate. Um, and that was because on the last debate, he actually before the first debate, he actually had a lead. Obama had a lead, and he thought he was going to keep that lead by being defensive. But what happens is that most people who don't do background checks on the candidates actually are deceived you know, by appearances. And in that case, in the first presidential debate, Romney seemed like a more confident, abrasive, and candidate, and like he knew what he was doing, even though people probably don't know that Romney has been flip flopping and is not very consistent with his logic and with his stances. He went from being very conservative to being a moderate. He's basically just reinvented himself from overnight almost when he appeared in those presidential debates. So I think it's Obama's job to call him out on it. But people who don't do research are easily deceived by that, and they just go along with you know whoever looks more confident. And the first debate was Romney looking more confident. Now I think Obama looked more confident, and well, if you look at both candidates' records, I don't like a lot of things that Obama is doing, like basically meddling in the Middle East on some Arab country, Middle Eastern countries such as Libya and stuff and Syria, and they're just meddling with their internal affairs. But at least he ended the Iraq War, and he is taxing the rich. Unlike Romney, Romney wants to give the rich tax cuts. Um, and most people say we are better off than 4 years ago. So I guess it's another point for Obama. And the most outrageous thing is that Republicans want, or Mitt Romney wants, to give tax cuts to the rich, which is pretty outrageous considering that somebody who makes a average wage earners who are around what $30,000 or something, maybe up to like $50,000. Let's say $30,000. Somebody like that paying 30% taxes, 25% taxes, is a lot more likely to be thrown beneath the poverty line, which they would then suffer because they will not be able to meet their basic necessities. Whereas somebody who makes like $10 million a year, even if they get taxed like freaking 50% tax, 50% of their whatever they earned that year, they're still well above the poverty line. So that the impact is not going to be felt not nearly as much as somebody who's an average wage earner. So yeah, I think I guess the rich ought to be taxed, and especially in this depression. And I know a lot of celebrities and rich people agree with that, but a lot of them don't. For example, Chris Rock wouldn't mind being taxed a little bit more to help the rest of the people. Romney basically made a valid point by pointing out that gas prices were much lower when Obama first came into office, and now they have basically tripled. and Obama responded by saying that it was the Bush administration's policies which had caused the soar in the gas prices. Uh, and he said that those policies will keep gas prices low for a short while, but once the consequences or the recession hits, then gas prices soar. So I guess Mitt Romney made a valid point there. But imagine somebody making $23,000, which or under $23,000, which the poverty line is set at $23,000 for a family of four. Earning $23,000 a year, or it's like around 11,000 for a single individual a year. Imagine somebody that's beneath the poverty line. They will be facing some hardship, and you should also look at Romney and Bain Capital when he used to work for Bain Capital. And what Bain Capital basically does is they go looking around for companies who are having financial hardship, and they basically help them manage their money and try and help them get out of the financial hardship. But most of the time, they just put these companies in debt and bankrupt them, and basically start cutting jobs and stuff, start laying people off, which that eliminates jobs. You get more people unemployed that way. Go do your own research on Bain Capital and how what happened when Romney used to work there. Sometimes every once in a while they get lucky and they do help a company get out of their financial hardship, but it's very rare. But yeah, I mean, Mitt Romney keeps basically changing his stance, and I mean, Obama hasn't done everything he said he would do, or I don't, like I said, I don't like the fact that he was meddling in Middle Eastern countries and stuff. But yeah, Mitt Romney, keeps flip flopping, and he's inconsistent. He went from being very conservative to a moderate. He's starting to sound more like Obama now, but that just happened overnight. So it's just inconsistent. One thing I'll stress though is don't support a political party the same way you support your favorite football team, where you support them all the way 100% of the time. Your favorite football team does not get to legislate on how you live, but a political party does. So a lot more thought and research has to go into this, into figuring out who you're going to support politically. And I hope I can at least change some people's minds on that, because there's some people who just latch onto a political party and then they'll blindly vote for whichever political party they're latching onto, no matter what happens. And I think more people have to be basically thinking voters, that do research and then they support the best, least damaging party for the country. All right, so this has been all I've got to say. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for up and coming videos and the next presidential debate review or commentary. All right, so that's it. Subscribe.